Every musician, every songwriter needs an instrument. Sometimes that's your voice. It could be a guitar, a flute, a recorder. For me, it's the piano. And with ETUDE from Steinberg, a new virtual piano for HALion, I think I found a very worthy composing partner. And before I dive into this, I just want to spend some time just playing through some of the presets, and then we can get into the nitty-gritty of this beautiful instrument. I present to you ETUDE for HALion. Wasn't that fun? You know, sometimes you just need to get into an instrument and just play and just enjoy. Um, and now it's time, I guess, for the nerdy stuff. Getting under the hood a little bit because there is so much going on with this piano. It's a Yamaha C3x. So that surprised me coming into this because when I played, you can hear that this sounds like a much larger piano. And I've got the Studio Grand preset pulled up. Especially down at the low end for a smaller piano. I mean, it's like, okay, let's just take a look under the hood and see what's going on with this. So right here, we've got the main screen, and the piano page brings us to all the mechanics of the piano, like the release samples, and we have 12 velocity layers and then 8 release layers. The scripting is very important to this because it just responds and it triggers things in such a way that makes the playing experience very nice. Like you can see, I just get lost in it really easily. So those release samples, like that, and then the resonance, and that's with the pedal down. You hear it come in when I press the pedal. We have like the attack noise and then the release noises. You just hear all those little bumps, and then the pedal noises, of course. You hear those dampers lifting off. Those types of things, I tend to dial those down a little bit because I don't want them to be like right here, unless it's for a specific thing. You're trying to scare somebody with the pedal, boing, or something like that. So all of these are just like little nuances. We go over here, we have tuning. We can select different types of tuning, Lehman, Young 1, Young 2, EBVT. I have to learn what those are. Most of the time, you're going to use the stretch tuning, but it's interesting to hear what these other tunings are. Down here, we've got dynamic control. To me, this is like one of the most important things to get you connected with the instrument. A lot of times people will tell me, when you play this piano, it doesn't sound like it when I play. And it has a lot to do with the controller that you're using and how you have this set. I would just advise you to just kind of mess with those settings until it gets in a zone where you feel like you're comfortable and you're able to experience the piano. So before we go into any more of the under the hood settings, let's pull up another preset. I'm going to pull up the ETHEREAL Grand. This is one of the cool things that we have with Etude is the effects section. Let's take a look at that. And you can see I click on one of these areas and you can click off of it, or you can hit the little X in the corner to get rid of that screen. Let's get a little ethereal. Here we go. It's just very subtle. You've got a little gentle compression. But then you have this shimmering reverb here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just increase the blend of the reverb so we can get a little bit more of that shimmer. Doing that with the macro knob here. That might be a little too much. And like I said before, I like to feel things. I like to feel an effect. So instead of hearing it. So if I hear it too much, like that, it's too much. Just dial it back just a little bit till it gets right to where you just feel it. That is so nice. So nice. Let's try another one of these non-traditional presets. This is Dystopian Grand. And we can look and see what's going on with the effects. Okay, we got really tight compression here, heavy lifting, and you can really hear that just squashing that. And then we've got this overlong reverb here. And this is an algorithmic. So we've got algorithmic and impulse response reverbs, which makes it kind of cool. I love when I'm playing an instrument that that I get lost in all the time. That it's just like, yeah, another piano. Yeah, it's just like you get lost in this because of the way that they put it together, the way that it sounds, the way it responds to you. So yeah, let's check out a traditional. Yeah, let's do the player's perspective. Just like you're sitting right down at this piano. You know, when I pull up a preset, I don't think about what I'm going to play necessarily all the time. You know, sometimes I'll have a little idea, but like with this, it's just like I just hear that. It's very intimate, very personal, you know. Let's go under the hood again and look at the second area, and this is the mic area. You can see here we've got player, mid, tail, room, reverb send, and a master send. And what we can see is that it's just this is just the player mic. And let's go ahead and just go through the mics real quick. The player and the mid mic are really close. They're close mic'd, and the tail and room kind of get a little bit farther out. So this is the mid mic. Let's get a different key here. Let's see what reverb we have going on here. This is Wooden Studio and algorithmic. I'm going to turn the reverb off. I just want you to hear what these sound like without any effects. Let's go back to the player mic so we can hear what the difference is. And let's check out the tail. Hear more of the room a little bit. Just like how it kind of... Yeah, it's just got a little bit of tightness and slap to it, you know, that mid tail. Without any additional effects, pretty much this is like an out-of-the-box sound for the mic. Now let's go to the last mic position, the room mic. Where are you going to take me? You hear that little ringing out and it's a little bit more distant. And then what we can do, now we can combine these together. I'm gonna do, let's do mid and room. Let's kind of bring those up and bring the room down a little bit. So the mid gives you a little bit more direct sound, and then the room mic just kind of pushes it out. Again, you just get lost. Now let's do the, let's pull up the tail and player mixes. Again, this is just kind of basically out of the box without any additional settings, just so we can get a feel for what these mics sound like. The player is brighter. Having that tail blended in just a little bit just gives it just that little extra personality. And listen to that, it's just beefy. Yeah. Okay, let's just check out some more presets. Let's go to rock piano. Yeah, we got some compression, live stage with the effects, and mid mic. Listen to the dynamic. That little bit of compression just really kind of sells it, you know? And that dynamic, you know, you kind of, you kind of really get soft and groove it and then dig into a little bit. Okay, you lost me again. Let's do this with the Neo Soul piano. We've got a large studio, a pop piano compression, and then just like a little EQ going on here. And we've got the mid mic again. You can get so many personalities out of this. So if you look real close, down in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see those chord pads. Sebastian loves these trigger pads because they bring in a fun way to give you some ideas. And this is the Neo Soul. Yeah, it's wild. I'm going to go to back to the edit page because I've had these set up. I want to set my low key as this F because what I've done, I've assigned these to like these lower keys here. So you can kind of play them with your left hand. And it's velocity sensitive. You can get real creative with these. Yeah. So Sebastian put these trigger pads together based on music that he likes to hear. Then sometimes you'll find little Easter eggs in these chord progressions. You know, you can assign these to keys on your controller or a pad controller, an actual drum pad, and all of the patches have the chord pads assigned to them. This is a recording room grand, still the mid mic, and just different things going on. Wooden studio, and then the EQ here. Once again, I'm just so honored to be able to show these beautiful instruments to you. I want to thank Steinberg for giving me the opportunity. And thanks for coming along on this beautiful, joyful journey with Etude for HALion. This is Simeon, and I want to remind you, as I always do, stay joyful. And I'll see you next time.